Alright, so I wanted to make this quick video just to break down the video of the Nefelibata. To be honest, it's not going to be like a super in-depth tutorial, although I will be linking external tutorials that go more in-depth on certain topics. Yeah, this is just going to be like more of an overview, more of a like breaking down thought processes. I'll give you guys like tips and tricks on like certain things. Okay, so to start off a video, we need an idea. The best way to make that idea into a physical asset that you can tap into would have to be pen and paper. Just write down your idea, sketch, write notes about the sketch, details, stuff that you see in your vision. Just pen and paper, that's the best way to do it. Of course, the Notes app on your iPhone is really good too. And also there's this application on Windows. I think it's on Mac too. It's called Pure Ref. It just organizes all your pictures and stuff. So we're gonna start off with Blender. And Blender, I just make the 3D objects. I make any 3D animations, any simulations that I have to make for the edits or for the environment in Unreal Engine. I'll just do it in Blender because it's a lot faster and it's better for those type of things. For the edit, I just made a water simulation and this little like plant growth text thingy. The text is like a blow up text. It's like a little balloon text. I'll put a tutorial to that. Then the grass and the flowers that came out, I just added a plane, made it have a particle system with the different botanical acids from that add-on called Botanic. Then I just added the little empty so it could scale from 0 to 100, and I also weight painted it so it's only rendering the region that I want to render. I also made some neon signs that I use here, and here. Neon signs are super easy to make. You just gotta grab the text layer, extrude them, put different bevels on them, just mess around, make it look cool. And then you just add an emissive texture onto that. Don't worry too much about texturing in Blender because afterwards you're gonna have to fix it in Unreal Engine anyways, so just don't worry about the texturing that much. Also added other things like bars, little cables, and also screws. I also added a character. I didn't really put in any effort into the character. I just grabbed the random character in Mixamo that I liked. I also grabbed a animation that I liked. I made that last forever, but unfortunately when I passed it to Unreal Engine it didn't transfer over, so I had to like manually place it, and that's why it has that little glitch. It wasn't intentional, it was just that's what it did for some reason. I also made the abandoned theater here. Just to let you know, I didn't make this 100% myself. It's a base model that I found on Sketchfab, but I did destroy it a little bit. Cut some holes into the ceiling, added some cables, rearranged the whole room inside. I also changed the sign that it has, and yeah, that's pretty much it for that. Okay, now we're gonna transfer over to Unreal Engine. I think the first thing that I should talk about should be the texture for the landscape, for the floor. The texture I used, it got fucked up because I added a roughness map to it, so I can add the little puddles and stuff. But later on, I found a tutorial that actually fixes that problem. So I'll link that tutorial on how you can make how you can create a material that you can blend several materials into and also add puddles, and it looks amazing. By the way, the Quixel Bridge is such a good library asset for high quality assets, decals, materials, and also just 3D objects in general. Most of the objects that you see there are pretty much all from Quixel Bridge, except for like a few of them. So after you do that, you have to set up the camera position so you can know where you're going to shoot from, and then focus on that main area. Build the city or build your environment around that camera angle. Put your buildings, which are the big assets that kind of block off everything, and then you start adding the little details like the rubble, the paint, the graffiti, the foliage, the cars, the barricade, the neon signs. By the way, this sky is not a HDRI. It's a fully dynamic sky. It has volumetric cloud. Position your sun and your moon directly. You can change the time of day. It's a really cool plugin. It's a paid plugin, but it's still fucking amazing. That's pretty much all you need for lighting outdoor environments. Of course, there's much more to it to lighting than just like having a nice HDRI, but you'll figure things out as you go. Bonus tip, I would say, for the render settings, you want to change the default render settings, obviously, right? But what settings do you put instead? This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna make the sequence. You're gonna render the sequence in an EXR, sorry, and then you are going to change that to duap for the thingy, whatever, duap. And then you check this little checkbox, right? And then for the settings, you're gonna go to anti-aliasing. Fuck, I can't speak English right now. You're gonna go to spatial count samples. You're gonna put 4, and then temporal, you're gonna put 16. These are really good settings for my computer. I only have a 2070 GPU. So if you have a 3090 or 4090, some crazy shit like that, you could probably bump that way up and you'll still have like pretty good renders at a very fast pace. This was pretty fast, and it also came out with a lot of color information. So later on when we go to After Effects, you're gonna need that for sure. Make sure that the color output is disabled the tone curve, and then the game overrides, you can leave it as is, and on the output just make sure to save it in the folder that you want. I'm gonna show you a little bit of the color correction, right? So this is without color correction, this is with color correction. The idea behind color correction, at least for me, for like cinematics and stuff like that, I think it's better to keep it more subtle. This is for me, right? This is my personal opinion. Of course, you could do whatever you want. At the end of the day, it's there's no right or wrong way of doing it. It's just what you like and what you don't like. Let's start with the curves. I added a little bit of curves so I can have a little bit of contrast. Then I added elementary color so I can take out the blow-in highlights. And then after that, I added some lens blur, so it's not like perfectly sharp. It's not like perfect. It kind of looks like a little bit blurry. A little bit of noise, ever so slightly, just to like add a little bit of grain to it. You could do a lot if you want, but I just wanted to keep it subtle for this one. And then I added a little bit of deep glow just to like add a little bit of those a little bit of glow back to the whole scene. That's pretty much it, honestly. Like of course, like the specific scenes have like things done to themselves. So for example, this one I added some lens flare, I added some distortion like chroma distort, I added some optics compensation. Then on the other one I added some lens dirt. Same thing on the third one, I added some lens flare, some lens dirt, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Now let's talk about sound design. I just wanted to keep it subtle, and I kind of messed up by doing that. Well, I didn't mess up, but like it was just a little bit low. So what I did was pre-comp it and then just like put it a little bit higher, but I did that after the fact I posted it, so whatever, it is what it is. For starters, you want to start off with a simple ambient noise, and in my case it's just the sound of wind. So yeah, this is what it sounds like. Now after that, I added a little bit of an ominous type of sound that kind of gives it like a little bit eerie, a little bit creepy, a little bit like isolated type of vibe, since this whole edit is about isolation. After that, I added little sound effects that just make sense with with what's happening in the video. So for example, like the person breathing, the person the fire in the background. I added some music. Now the music that I added, I just added the reverb effect, and I also added a stereo mixer. And this is for me to basically manage where the audio is located. So you can pan the audio from left to right, and you can also have it sounding like somewhere in the middle. So that's kind of what I did with this. I was just playing around with. Then after all that, you just add all of that together and you have something like this. Yeah, man, that's pretty much it for today. I just wanted to show you guys the thought process, kind of like my workflow and stuff like that. Um, Hopefully you guys gain something from this. I'm gonna try my best to link all the tutorials that I can so you guys can really get like in-depth information of like how to do certain things. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know in the comment section below, and I'm out.